You are welcome to Felicia Inspires. Today we are discussing luck and risk in psychology of money. And I believe at the end of this teaching, you will completely change the way you judge success, failure, and even wealth. So stay tuned with me and let's learn something important today. Why do some people work extremely hard and still struggle financially, while others just make one decision and become so rich? Is it intelligence? Is it discipline? Or is there something uncomfortable that we don't like to talk about? One thing about today's teaching is that it answers one painful question. And the question is, why do equally smart and intelligent people end up with different financial outcomes? Let's go deeper. Luck and risk are always involved in every outcome. Luck is the role of things going right, and risk is the role of things going wrong. And both are invisible most of the time. Most people always see results. They don't see the timing, the circumstances, who met who was born where, and even who avoided disaster by chance. Let's take the Bill Gates and Kent Evans story as an example. Bill Gates went to one of the only high schools in the world in the 1960s that had access to computer. At that time, computers were very rare at that time. Very few students had hands on access. Gates got thousands of hours of practice early. Now, let's compare Bill Gates to Kent Evans. They had the same intelligence, the same interest in computers, the same environment, and even the same ambition to go deeper into computing. But at the end of the day, Kent Evans died in a mountaineering accident in his early 20s. Bill Gates and Kent Evans had the same skills, same potential, but they came out with different results. When you look at their story, one benefited from luck and one was hit by a risk. Why does luck and risk always make us uncomfortable when it comes to financial decision making? We don't like this idea because it reduces our sense of control and forces us to admit that success is not always 100% earned. So, we are not saying that hard work doesn't matter. Hard work is necessary, but not sufficient. Luck decides timing, opportunity, survival, exposure, and even who gets noticed. One dangerous habit in finance is idolizing extreme success. We study billionaires, top investors, and even unicorn founders. But we always ignore survivorship bias, those who did the same thing and still failed, and even those who were unlucky. We are always quick to learn from the winners and just forget about the losers, even when the losers made the same decision, but they failed at the end of the day. Not every strategy that worked once is repeatable, and not every success story is a blueprint for us to emulate, because luck and risk are always involved in every outcome. Risk is always present, even when invisible. Risk is not a danger. Risk is uncertainty. Sometimes investors can do everything right and still lose money, miss opportunities, face economic challenges, or even hit by global events. Risk is what you don't see coming. That is why diversification matters, emergency funds matter, and humility matters when it comes to financial decision making. Let's talk honestly about African realities when it comes to decision making. Two people with equal discipline. One born in a stable economy, one born where inflation, currency devaluation, or policy shocks are common. Same effort, but different outcome. This is not laziness. This is systemic risk. As African financial educators, we must teach resilience, not just ambition. Teach protection, not just growth. And teach survival before optimization. Let's look at the humility lesson. Morgan Housel says that understanding luck makes you humble, and understanding risk makes you cautious when it comes to financial decision making as investors. When it comes to humility in financial decision making, it helps us to avoid arrogance, avoid overconfidence, and avoid judging others harshly. Caution, on the other hand, also helps us to avoid ruin, avoid leverage traps, and even avoid betting everything on one outcome. Let's have some practical financial lessons. Here's how this teaching changes how you'll handle money afterward. So 1. Don't copy extreme success blindly. Build margins of trust. Avoid strategies that can wipe you out. Focus on staying in the game and measure success with sustainability and not speed. And always remember this, that wealth is not about brilliance, it's about endurance. So, as financial educators, instead of saying they deserve it and he failed because he was careless, let's always say there were forces I don't fully see. And this mindset makes you wiser, makes you kinder, and makes you a better financial advisor. Success is a mix of effort, luck, and risk, and failure is always the same. So, as a financial advisor, stay wisely, stay humble, and never confuse outcome with intelligence. So, if this teaching resonates with you and you found it very valuable, then go ahead and like the video, subscribe into it, and share for others to also learn. And stay tuned with me as we go deeper into the breakdown of psychology of money when it comes to financial decisions. So till we meet again, I say stay blessed.